Guys, Con here. So right now I am in Segambut, and behind me is Bavarian Auto, a reputable supplier of BMW parts. These guys are highly recommended by a number of other fellow BMW owners. They sell replacement BMW spare parts at relatively affordable prices. So no prices for guessing why I'm here. As I mentioned earlier in my previous videos, there's still a bit of work to be done for my E39. So I am here to pick up some suspension components for my car. So guys, excuse the mess of my boot, but here is my haul from Bavarian Auto. Here you have, these are the Lemforder control arms. This is one pair of control arms. These are the stabilizer links, also Lemforders. These are Febi lower control arms. Now some some of my E39 gang tell me that this is of slightly lower quality than the Lemforder stuff, but because I'm buying so many of these at one shot, right, this one I decided to go on for a slightly cheaper alternative. Okay, you see, the idea is that because all my arms currently in the car are quite worn out, so the priority now really is to get new parts into the picture, right? These ones, so for this set of arms, I'm prepared for them to wear out a bit faster, and later on I'll swap them out with higher quality stuff, because, well, as you can see, the current purchase and repair of the car, there's been a lot of cash flow out. So for this one, I'm going with a slightly cheaper alternative, but still still a decent part lah. And here is my left tie rod. So all in, all these things here cost me 1,700 ringgit from Bavarian Auto. I'm going to put down the breakdown of all these costs in the description section. Right guys, so right now I'm at this place in Cheras called Reiber Auto. It is a self-clean absorber specialist. These guys come highly recommended by a couple of my E39 group members. I don't know them personally, so I'm gonna find out what these guys are about. Okay, so they are shaking the car, and bro, this is supposed to tell me that what's the condition of my absorber based on this observation.
Okay. This body roll condition is actually not good.
Okay.
For taking long corners or short corners. Okay. But especially for long corners.
Yeah.
When you hit the hump during the long corners, the car will be shaking like that.
Yeah. Okay. Alright guys, so this car has been here for, well, now is 3 p.m. I left this place earlier, I think about, before 12. So about 3 hours they've been at it, and they have gotten quite a lot of things done, and still a lot more things to do. So the front absorbers are off the car. Yeah. Okay, so this is the... Yang mana ini, bagian mana? Kiri kanan?
Kiri kanan, dia di sebelah kanan ini, sebelah kiri punya.
Oh, okay. So this is the left absorber that has been refurbished. Yang belah kanan sudah pasang balik? Sudah. Oh, okay. So the right rear absorber has already been reinstalled to the car, and hence the view is back, fixed back, right? And here he's getting ready to reinstall the left one. And allow me to show you this. Inside the car, they have taken out the rear seat as well, okay, because with the E39, right, you actually have to remove the whole rear seat in order to access the rear suspension bolting points, right? And so I'm going to take a video of this because I want to have a look at this. This is the lower mount, the lower area. Alright, so quite unfortunately, my unit of the E39 does not have ISOFIX brackets. In some markets, I've seen at least one car that I surveyed had ISOFIX mounts. This unit here does not have. So from this angle, you can see this is the top parcel shelf. That is the electric sun blind right there. Alright, so here are my seats. And these are the old arms that were taken out. New arms are installed in place. Okay, so here, let me just show you the front left suspension. Now, what previously when I got these new tires, right? The tire shop told me the front left tire, the left tie rod, okay, is worn out. But over here, they tell me the tie rod is in good condition, doesn't need to be replaced. So just keeping the tie rod as it is. Then, you know, well, eventually these things will wear out eventually and replace later lah. Alright, so technician is putting the right front absorber into place first. They are going to goyang the car and see, wow, a lot less roll, huh? Well, I trust it's using the same amount of strength as before, but I'll find out on the roads. Alright, so I am now reversing out of the premises of Reiber Auto. Did I pronounce it right, bro? Reiber Auto?
Yeah, Reiber actually.
Reiber, alright. So holding the camera is Abang Wan, the owner of this premises.
Hello.
Yep, and he has invited me to test drive the car first and see whether the performance okay or not before I whip out my credit card to pay for the bill. I can't explain it, but I can feel there is a more firm quality to the ride, and firm in a nice way. You know, previously there was, when I drive the car right, over some of these uneven surfaces, there was a bit of looseness, and that has largely been eliminated. And also the steering, yeah, the steering now feels better.
Or maybe you want to try at the main road.
Yeah, can, if you don't mind. Yeah, I feel a closer connection with the surface of the road.
So-called firmer, is it?
Yeah, but it is, you know, sometimes right, when you say the ride is firmer, it's not necessarily a good thing, but this is a nice kind of firm.
It's not too hard and it's not too soft.
Yeah, the car, I can say the car it's like the car flows with the road. Oh, I can feel the difference. I can feel the difference.
Okay, normally this is the road that we go and test the absorbers.
Yep.
And we are going to have 2 humps in front.
Yep.
And maybe later around 60 or 40 kilometers, you don't have to brake. You just go by the hump.
Jalan ni ah.
Jalan only.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay, now I'm at 80. See the hump. See where the Sentra is. The Sentra is approaching the hump.
Okay.
Just swerving to avoid it.
Right.
60. Oh, not bad, not bad.
There's another hump over there.
Okay, I'm maintaining.
Right.
Slowing a bit. 40.
Make a U-turn.
Okay. Not bad. Not bad, Abang Wan. You earn your money, man.
Thank you, brother. So a lot of difference before and after.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Alright. Nice.
The car feels tighter. That's the word for it. It's not firmer. It's tighter.
Okay, I'm going to use that word after this. Tighter, not firmer. In addition, maybe we can say more safety.
Yeah, of course. Because you see, a lot of people, right, don't realize the connection between safety and handling. When your car has good handling, right, secure handling, right, you are better equipped to deal with an emergency. So let's say like you're driving along on the highway, suddenly well, a dog or a cat run across you, a child, or you know, or another car just suddenly come across you. So what good handling does is it helps you safely avoid all these obstacles without losing control.
Correct, I agree with you.
Wow, good. I am properly satisfied. So now after this, this car is ready for a Genting run, man.
Wow, I want to follow you.
Can. Not bad. But I think after this I have to go and do alignment, right?
Correct. And maybe after this, Reiber Auto is going to make, to open another alignment shop.
I think you should, you know, because consumers now, we want one-stop service, it would be so easy for you to, you know, if you I send my car to you to do what you call that, right? To do absorber refurbishment. You sure have to book out my suspension. Sure, everything lari. Sure, I have to do alignment again. So why not you do it? And at the same time, you can also make money from other people who just want to do alignment.
True also. In the future, maybe.
Yep.
So we are heading back to the shop.
Yep.
And to make a payment.
Yep. Paying customer, huh? Guys, just brought my 520i back to Reiber Auto. Now, the earlier footages that you see in this video, they were filmed a week ago, and in that period of time, I've also taken this car on the Genting run, which you can see in a separate video. So why am I back here today? For two reasons. I noticed that upon collecting my car that day, but I didn't have time to act upon it, that the front end of the car seems to be lower than before. Okay, and also the lowering does not appear consistent on the left and right side. The right side seems lower than that on the left, and in any case, I had wanted this car to retain its factory suspension setting as well as ride height, so I'm coming back here to rectify that. The other thing that I'm here to fix also is that upon after I went back, right, I noticed that the rear sunshades somehow the movement was somehow blocked by something. So I'm asking them to check that out for me. So guys, while we are at it, the good people of Reiber Auto are now removing the rear parcel, getting to access the rear parcel shelf, and try to rectify the sunshade. And as mentioned earlier in the video, the E39, the biggest thing about accessing the rear suspension, right, is that you have to remove the top parcel shelf. To remove the top parcel shelf, you actually need to remove the rear seats. So boss, macam mana? Kena buka? Okay, so he has to open the rear seat. Okay, so he's removed that light panel there, and he's doing the same on this side. Removing the rear bench, so it's as easy as just yanking it hard and take out the rear bench. Alright, so they have taken off the front wheels and accessing the front absorbers. So ni absorber kena buka keluar? Tak, you macam ni saja. Oh, okay. Meanwhile, inside the cabin, the rear seat back is being taken out. And once again, we see the bare area of the rear cabin. So they are now removing the bracket that holds the center headrest. Meanwhile, they're working on the front shocks to readjust back the ride height. So the next step here is to remove the C-pillar panel before they can access the parcel shelf. So they have taken out the right C-pillar plastic, and just let me show you the condition up close. Well, this is obviously a 15-year-old panel, and well, this bit is cracked. I don't know how it is possible that that a plastic panel that barely moves at any time is able to crack. Here is another crack piece. This is obviously where it's meant to be clipped in or screwed in, also cracked. Alright, so here is the left panel, and this is obviously in much better condition, and I will line them up to compare. Now you see, here this one is cracked, this one is cracking, here this piece is broken, here there is supposed to still be this clip here. Alright, yeah, so this clip is supposed to still be there, and yeah, so you see this piece here is gone from this one. Fabulous quality. Alright, they freed it. Thank you bro, thank you. Okay, sekarang pasang balik ya. Alright guys, so final QC. As you can see, the reading here, right, measured from the bottom of the rim to the fender is 60 mm. This is the right side. This is the left side on the same measurement. Okay, close enough to 60. Okay guys, so to wrap up, alright, this job of refurbishing my E39 suspension, the suspension arms, alright, those were bought for a cost of 1,700 ringgit thereabouts, and but that also includes an entirely unnecessary expense of a left tie rod that it turns out that I did not need replacing. So that we actually have to subtract 200 ringgit out of that 1,700. Now, the cost of refurbishing, the work actually done at Reiber Auto, that adds up to 1,600 ringgit. That gets me a set, gets back my original set of shock absorbers, but with new parts inside. How is it cheaper compared to a set of new shocks? Well, Bavarian Auto quoted me 400 ringgit for one side, the front left. Okay, I don't know. Then I would assume that all four will be the same price. All right, so that'll be 1,600. At Wern's quoted me, gave me a slight markup about 500 ringgit. So that would have been 2,000 ringgit just on parts alone. Belum kira labor lagi. Okay, because you have to bear in mind one thing. For the E39, right, to replace the shocks, the front end, very easy to open. The rear, with all the opening of the seats lah, the parcel shelf lah, the C-pillar panels and all that takes time, takes man hour, labor costs and all that, right? So if you talk about, let's say like you want to talk about buying a set of new shocks from Bavarian Auto, your cost does not stop at 1,600 ringgit, whereas Reiber's refurbishing works of the suspension really is 1,600 ringgit, chop, that's it, nothing else. For the E39, really, it is, when it comes to shock absorber replacement, the rears, there will be, the labor cost is quite high, and in the description section I'm including a link to a video that shows you how they do it, you know, how to DIY the removal of the rear shocks. All right, so the overall assessment of the handiwork, I would say that the actual work of refurbishing the suspension, they have done a fabulous job. All right, I can tell you, this car, the moment before and after, right, I sent this car to them. All right, even after the first time it came back with the front end, you know, unevenly lowered, the car felt significantly better to drive. Okay, it's more planted around corners because there is now less body roll. Okay, so the car doesn't wobble about. All right, and also surprisingly, the braking has also improved because there is now less free play from the suspension. You see, before this, all the arms were worn out and all that, right? So that caused a bit of free play in the suspension, and also there is now less nosedive. So overall, that all contribute to better handling and also better steering response. The steering now somehow just feels more crisp, okay, and just a tad lighter. Before this, the steering felt a little a little cumbersome, a little heavy. Now it still feels heavy. I would say overall the feel is heavier than my Wajas, but the weight now seems to feel a bit more natural. So as a whole, I highly recommend the services of the folks at Reiber Auto when it comes to refurbishing your suspension. Okay, but do bear in mind, these people, their expertise are on refurbishing your absorbers. They are not interior people, so when it comes to reassembling all those trim parts at the back, if you are the fussy type, right, it may be prudent that you give them a hand at the workshop. And also, I am told that I've opted to keep this car running on the factory setting. The boss tells me that he has given me a bit of added stiffness, but he did tell me that if you want, they are able to retune your existing absorbers to follow a variety of sportier settings to suit your driving tastes. So yeah, so therein lies, that gives you that freedom. Those of you who are thinking of upgrading your shocks or replacing your shocks, then these guys at Reiber Auto, they represent in my opinion, a legitimate and a more reasonably priced alternative than just buying a set of shocks. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. If you like my content, click on the subscribe button. Press the bell icon to toggle the frequency of updates every time I upload a new video. And don't forget also to check out the channels of Bobby, Bing and Fadil, okay, of the Horizon team. And until my next video, thanks for watching. Bye for now.